This is part 3 of consumer theory. In this particular lecture, I'm going to model the consumer's preferences, that is the consumer's likes and dislikes. एक चीज जो आपने यहाँ ख्याल रखना है वो ये है कि when we are modeling the consumer preferences, you have to keep the budget considerations aside. यहाँ मैं सिर्फ लोगों के जो है ना पसंद नापसंद को मॉडल करना चाह रही हूँ. I'm trying to rank the consumption bundles for the consumer according to their preferences. अच्छा, और इस ये रैंकिंग में बजट कंसिडरेशन को हमने जो है ना उसको कंसिडर नहीं करना. मतलब फॉर एग्जांपल I might prefer Ferrari or a Mercedes to Honda or Suzuki, but that's a different issue if I can actually buy that Ferrari or Mercedes. ठीक है, पसंद वो मुझे सबसे ज्यादा है, लेकिन उसको मैं क्या खरीद सकती हूँ या नहीं वो एक अलग इशू है. तो when you're modeling the consumer preferences, just keep the budget consideration aside, keep the fact aside कि मैं उसको अफोर्ड कर भी सकती हूँ या नहीं. अभी हम simply rank कर रहे हैं consumers consumption bundles according to their preferences, according to their likes and dislikes. So the way we model the consumer preferences is that we make use of indifference curves. What you see in front of you is a representation of a consumer's indifference curve. If you want to plot the indifference curve, we take the commodity 1 on the x-axis and we take commodity 2 on the y-axis. Remember, we are continuing with the same example. Pizza is commodity 1, Pepsi is commodity 2. Indifference curves जो है ना, they trace out something like this. आपको स्क्रीन पे नजर आ रहे हैं, ये डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग कर्व्स हैं. हम जब everyday language में indifferent का word use करते हैं, so what we mean by that is, like for example, if I say that I'm indifferent between Pakistan winning the cricket tournament or Australia winning the cricket tournament, इसका मतलब ये है कि I'm equally happy with either of the two winning the cricket tournament. ठीक है, पाकिस्तान जीत जाए तो मेरी खुशी का लेवल बढ़ेगा नहीं, अगर ऑस्ट्रेलिया जीत जाए मेरा खुशी का लेवल कम ज्यादा नहीं होगा. So I'm equally happy, equally satisfied, irrespective of the fact that who wins the cricket tournament. So similarly, जब हम indifference curve की बात कर रहे हैं, and if you look at this definition of the indifference curve, indifference curve is a curve that shows consumption bundles that give the consumer the same level of satisfaction. So here you can see two indifference curves in front of you. The first is I1, the second is I2. So on I1 you can see 3 consumption bundles. हकीकत तो ये है कि every point on this indifference curve, it represents a different combination of goods and services. ठीक है? So every point on this indifference curve is a new consumption bundle. But let's just focus on consumption bundle A, B and C. जो एक चीज common है इन तीनों consumption bundles में वो ये है कि these 3 consumption bundles give the consumer the same level of satisfaction, the same level of happiness or the same level of utility. ठीक है, मैं 3 डिफरेंट लफ्ज इस्तेमाल कर रही हूँ लेकिन इनका मानी सेम है. सो मैं कंज्यूमर से पूछती हूँ टू रैंक कंजम्पशन बंडल्स A, B और C एंड ही टेल्स मी दैट आई एम इक्वली हैप्पी, equally satisfied, I get equal utility by consuming either consumption bundle A, B or C. Okay? Or in other words, the consumer is indifferent between A, B and C. I2 is going to contain another set of consumption bundles. ठीक है, इस लाइन पे different consumption bundles हैं और वही खास बात है इन consumption bundles की कि जितनी consumption bundles I2 पे lie कर रही हैं, they will give the consumer the same level of happiness or satisfaction. Now there are 4 properties of the indifference curve that you need to be familiar with, and these properties are stated right over here. Okay, so we are talking about now the 4 properties of indifference curve. पहली property ये है कि higher indifference curves are more preferred to lower indifference curve. Okay, so let me just explain you with the help of this diagram here. So what I'm saying is कि जितनी consumption bundles IC2 पे lie कर रही हैं, ठीक है, या I2 पे lie कर रही हैं, they will give me more satisfaction or more happiness than the consumption bundles that lie on I1. The reason being, if you look closely, consumption bundle agar D की बात की जाए, D contains more of commodity 1 and it contains more of commodity 2 as compared to consumption bundle A. ठीक है? So आप देख सकते हैं D may contain 10 units of commodity 1 and 2 units of commodity 2, whereas A contains maybe 5 units of commodity 1 and only 1 unit of commodity 2. So visibly nazar aa raha hai ki D contains more of both the commodities. अगर मैं आपके सामने A और B consumption bundles पेश करूं और आपसे कहूं कि pick one. Here, you're not going to take the budget considerations into account. इधर मैं simply आपसे कह रही हूँ to rank the consumption bundles. आपको D ज़्यादा पसंद है या A ज़्यादा पसंद है? Now, since D contains more of both the commodities, I will surely say that D is more preferred to A. Okay? And so that also means that D is more preferred to B, C, or in other words, all the consumption bundles that lie on this indifference curve, which is I2, they will be more preferred to the consumption bundles that lie on a lower indifference curve, which is I1 in this particular case. Right? So now let's just read this from the handouts as well. Okay, this is the first property. So higher indifference curves are preferred to lower ones. So consumers usually prefer more of something to less of it. Higher indifference curve represents larger quantities of goods than do lower income. So जाहिर सी बात है, the higher difference curves will contain consumption bundles which are more preferred to the consumption bundles that lie on a lower indifference curve. बिल्कुल इसी तरह मतलब we can have a set of indifference curves. ठीक है? So मेरा दिल तो ये चाहेगा कि I end up consuming this consumption bundle here. ठीक है? ये consumption bundle जो मैंने यहाँ identify की है ये गोले से, this is more preferred to consumption bundle D. It's more preferred to consumption bundle A, B, and C because it lies in a higher indifference curve. मुझे पसंद सबसे ज़्यादा ये consumption bundle है. अब मैं इसको afford कर सकती हूँ या नहीं? That's another question. Yeah, so for the time being, you need to understand that consumption bundles that lie on a higher indifference curve are more preferred to the consumption bundles that lie on a lower indifference curve. So that's one property of indifference curves. Okay, so let me just rub this off so I can move on to the second property. अच्छा, जो second property है ना indifference curves की, वो ये है कि indifference curve हमेशा downward sloping होंगे. Okay, so let me show you that property as well. देखो, second property states that higher indifference curve or indifference curves are always downward sloping. This should not come as a surprise to you. Coming back to this diagram here. मैंने आपको अभी इंडिफरेंस कर्व की डेफिनेशन दी थी. मैंने कहा था कि जितनी कंजम्पशन बंडल्स इस इंडिफरेंस कर्व पे लाई कर रहे हैं I1 पे, they give the consumer the same level of happiness. अच्छा, now let's assume that I bring the consumer from consumption bundle C to consumption bundle this. I'll call this consumption bundle Z. Okay. So I'm taking this consumer down from C to Z. So मैं कर क्या रही हूँ? I'm keeping the quantity of commodity 1 the same, but I'm decreasing the quantity of commodity 2. ठीक है? पिज्जा की तादाद consumption bundle D में same है as in consumption bundle C. फर्क ये है कि Pepsi, the amount of Pepsi in consumption bundle Z is less than that in consumption bundle C. अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि is the consumer as well off as he was before? यानी is the consumer as happy, as satisfied as he was before? So the answer should be no. D contains less of commodity 2. although it contains the same amount of commodity 1, but it contains less of commodity 2. So I've actually decreased the happiness of the consumer. तो C और Z एक indifference curve पे lie नहीं कर सकते. Now, in order to compensate my consumer, in order to take him back to his original level of happiness, मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा? I will have to give him more of the other commodity, which is commodity 1 in this case. अगर मैंने एक चीज उससे छीनी है, that will actually make him unhappy. So in order to bring him back to his same level of happiness, I will have to give him more of the other commodity, which is pizza in this case. So that is why indifference curves are always downward sloping. आप एक you can think of a child. Let's suppose I have chocolates on the x-axis and I have candies on the y-axis. अगर मैं एक बच्चे से candies छीन लेती हूँ, so वो रोएगा ना, I'm making him unhappy. So how do I, uplift his mood? How do I take him back to his original level of happiness? For that, I have to compensate him by giving him more chocolates. ठीक है, अगर एक चीज छीनी है तो I have to compensate him by giving him more of the other thing so that he is as well off, as happy, as satisfied as before. So hence, it should not come as a surprise to you that indifference curves are always downward sloping. आप इसको इस तरह भी विजुअलाइज कर सकते हैं. देखिए, अगर मैं कहूं कि कोई हर्ज नहीं है, indifference curve can be upward sloping. So देखिए, what does that mean? That means that the consumer is going to be indifferent between this consumption bundle and the consumption bundle here. But that's impossible because this consumption bundle here, it contains more of both the commodities. So ऐसा हो नहीं सकता the consumer is indifferent between these two consumption bundle. इसलिए ऐसा हो नहीं सकता कि indifference are upward. So this upward indifference curves are not possible. Indifference curve हमेशा downward sloping होंगे. इंडिफरेंस कर्व पे हमेशा आपका कि मूविंग अलोंग द इंडिफरेंस कर्व हमेशा आपका हैप्पीनेस लेवल कांस्टेंट होगा. इसलिए अगर मैं एक चीज आपसे छीनती हूँ, आपको ओरिजिनल लेवल ऑफ हैप्पीनेस पे लाने के लिए आई हैव टू गिव यू मोर ऑफ द अदर commodity, hence the downward sloping indifference curve. So that's the second property. So but there was a reason why I drew multiple indifference curve, and by looking at those set of indifference curve, you should be able to figure out कि higher indifference curves are preferred to lower ones. पहली बात. दूसरी बात जो हमने अभी डिस्कस की वो ये थी कि indifference curve हमेशा downward sloping होंगे. इसकी वजह जो है ना आपके handouts में यहाँ mention भी है कि a consumer is willing to give up one good only if he or she gets more of the other good in order to remain equally happy. So if quantity of one good is reduced, the quantity of other must increase. For this reason, indifference curves are downward sloping. तीसरी property, indifference curves जो है ना, they do not cross one another. Okay, so I'm down to the third property, which is this है. Indifference curves जो है, okay, indifference curves, they do not cross one another. Or in other words, indifference curve हमेशा parallel होंगे आपस में. There was a reason why I drew the indifference curve to be parallel to one another, and the reason is as follows. Let's suppose कि कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Indifference curve can cross one another. Okay? So in the original, अभी जो मैंने आपको पहले diagram दिखाया था, you could see कि indifference curve जो है ना, they are parallel to one another. इधर आप देख रहे हैं indifference curve, they are crossing one another. And now I'm going to prove that this is impossible. The reason is that, let's compare, I've like identified three consumption bundles on this diagram, A, B and C. A और B नोट करें एक ही indifference curve पे lie करते हैं. So according to the definition of indifference curve, the consumer should be equally happy or indifferent between A and B. All right? Similarly, C और B को compare करें. दोनों एक ही indifference curve पे lie कर रहे हैं. So I can say that the consumer is indifferent between C and B. So if A is indifferent to B and B is indifferent to C, can't I infer that the consumer is going to be indifferent between A and C? ऐसा ही है ना? अगर आप कह रहे हैं कि A is indifferent to B and then you're saying that C is indifferent to B, that automatically implies that A should be indifferent to C. Okay? But you can clearly see that that's not possible. C contains more of both the commodities as compared to A. आप अगर note करें consumption bundle, कम commodities include करे of both commodities 1 and 2. So C is going to be more preferred to A. So that is why indifference curve can never intersect one another. Now this has also been explained over here. आप देख सकते हैं points A and B should make the consumer equally happy and B and C should make the consumer equally happy, which implies that the consumer is equally happy or indifferent between A. आप देखें ये common है ना, A और C के बीच में he's going to be indifferent. अगर आप कह रहे हैं A is indifferent to B, B is indifferent to C, that automatically implies that A is going to be indifferent to C. But that is not possible because C contains more of both the commodities as compared to A. So hence proven कि indifference curve कभी भी आपस में intersect नहीं कर सकते, हमेशा indifference curve एक दूसरे के parallel होंगे. अच्छा, now coming to the fourth property. Fourth property ये है कि indifference curve, they are going to be bore inwards, or in other words, they're going to be convex in shape. मैंने जान के indifference curve को convex बनाया था. So this can be explained as follows. मैंने जान के indifference curve को ऐसे बनाया था कि indifference curve यूं अंदर की तरफ आते हैं और फिर बाहर की तरफ जाते हैं. I could have drawn indifference curve which was a straight line, a straight downward sloping line, but I didn't do that. मैंने जान के convex बनाए हैं indifference curve को, and there is a logic behind it as well. In order to understand this logic, you first need to understand a new concept, which is the concept of the slope of the indifference curve. Okay? So the slope of the indifference curve is actually, it's called the MRS, or the marginal rate of substitution. So slope की definition आपको मतलब you should be familiar with it. So slope of the indifference curve is called the MRS. And just to make things clear, ये आपका ऊपर handouts में भी mention हुआ है. So let me go back to it. So MRS, it's the slope of any point on an indifference curve is called the marginal rate of substitution. It is the rate at which a consumer is willing to trade one good for another. Okay, so this is an important difference between the slope of the budget line and the slope of the indifference curve. मैंने कहा था the slope of the budget line is the rate at which the consumer actually have to give up one good for another. आपके याद दहानी के लिए let's go to the slope of the definition for the slope of the budget line. It measures the rate at which the consumer can actually trade one good for another. Slope of the indifference curve किस तरह different है, MRS किस तरह different है slope of the budget line से. It measures the rate at which the consumer is willing to trade off one good for another. Okay? So wordings का फर्क है यहाँ मैंने willing का लफ्ज इस्तेमाल किया है और जान के इस्तेमाल किया है. Coming back to this diagram here. देखिए MRS understood है कि it's going to be negative. Why? अभी मैंने आपको explain किया indifference curve हमेशा downward sloping होंगे, इसलिए MRS हमेशा negative होंगे. It's difficult to keep track of the negative sign all the time. Therefore, here MRS has been calculated, but it is being represented in absolute terms. MRS is 6 here. किस तरह? स्लोप किस तरह निकालते हैं? इफ आई वांट यू टू कंप्यूट द स्लोप बिटवीन दिस पॉइंट हियर, यानी इस पॉइंट और ए के दरमियान अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ कि स्लोप निकालें, तो आप किस तरह निकालेंगे? इट्स गोइंग टू बी द चेंज इन y डिवाइडेड बाय चेंज इन x. ठीक है, यू नो फ्रॉम योर बेसिक मैथ्स कोर्स स्लोप इज चेंज इन y डिवाइडेड बाय चेंज इन x. सो y में कितनी तब्दीली आ रही है? I'm moving down the indifference curve. Notice at the original consumption bundle, it contained 14 Pepsis and only 2 pizzas. So change in y is going to be 8 minus 14 divided by 3 minus 2. So this gives me minus 6. Or in absolute terms, MRS here is going to be 6. This is in absolute terms. Lekin as I'm going down and I ask you to compute the slope between this consumption bundle here and consumption bundle B, okay, I'm assuming that I'm going down. Okay, so what is the change in y here? It's 3 minus 4. What is the change in x? It's 7 minus 6. So MRS in this case is going to be minus 1 in an absolute terms is equal to as 1. But what you notice here is that MRS is not constant. It's decreasing, it's diminishing as I go down the curve. यहाँ MRS 6 था, नीचे MRS is 1. ठीक है, और आप intermediate points पर भी देख सकते हैं कि as I'm moving down the curve, the slope of the indifference curve is decreasing. Why is that the case? Either the consumer, at this point, the consumer is willing to give up 6 units of commodity 2 for 1 additional unit of commodity 1. ऐसा ही है. Whereas when I move down the curve, the consumer is willing to give up only 1 unit of commodity 2 for 1 additional unit of commodity 1. So why is the willingness of the consumer changing as I go down the curve? Or in other words, why does MRS diminish as I go down the curve? ठीक है, अगर ये चीज एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा तो I able to explain. अगर देखें MRS, अगर स्लोप स्ट्रेट लाइन होता, straight downward sloping होता, that means MRS would have been constant, the slope would have been constant. लेकिन मैंने जान के slope को constant नहीं रखा. MRS diminishing as I move down the indifference curve. और अब मैं आपको explain करना चाह रही हूँ why is that the case? MRS यहाँ ज़्यादा क्यों है, नीचे कम क्यों है? It's quite common sense if you think about it. At this particular point, देखिए, अगर आप इस point पे हैं, you already have a lot of Pepsis but very few units of pizzas. तसव्वुर करें एक टेबल सजी हुई है जिसमें मतलब बहुत ज्यादा पेप्सीज पड़ी हुई हैं लेकिन एक दो छोटे छोटे पिज्जास पड़े हुए हैं. तो आपका इस पॉइंट पे क्या दिल चाहेगा? एट दिस पॉइंट फॉर यू, मतलब जो ह्यूमन फितरत है कि जो चीज कम होती है यू टेंड टू वैल्यू दैट मोर. इधर एट दिस पॉइंट आपके पास ऑलरेडी पेप्सी की फरावानी है, ठीक है, आपका मेज जो है ना पेप्सी से भरी हुई है, लेकिन पिज्जा के खाली 2-3 पीसेस पड़े हुए हैं. So at this point in time, since you have excess amount of Pepsi, that's why you're willing to give up large amounts of Pepsi for 1 additional unit of pizza. Or in other words, at this point, इस point पे pizza is more valuable to you. Therefore, you're willing to sacrifice more for it for 1 additional unit of pizza. Now, if we move down the curve, अब सिचुएशन यहाँ मुख्तलिफ है. अब एक अब टेबल को तस्वर करें जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा पिज्जास हैं लेकिन बहुत थोड़ी पेप्सी है. सो वही बात है, इंसानी फितरत है कि जो चीज कम होती है उसी की ही उसको तलब ज्यादा होती है. So at this point, he already has a lot of pizza. So at this point, pizza is less valuable to him. Therefore, he is willing to give up only a small amount of Pepsi for 1 additional unit of pizza. So that is why MRS diminishes as we move down the curve. Okay. So let me just clarify this point as well. देखो इस पॉइंट पे आप देख सकते हैं पिज्जा इज मोर वैल्यूएबल, ठीक है। तो जो चीज आपको ज्यादा अजीज होती है, यू आर विलिंग टू सैक्रिफाइस मोर फॉर इट। Therefore, at this point, the consumer is willing to sacrifice 6 Pepsi for 1 additional unit of pizza. Now, यहां क्या हो रहा है, इस पॉइंट पे क्या हो रहा है कि ऑलरेडी पिज्जा की फरावानी है आपके पास, सो pizza is less valuable to you, or in other words, Pepsi is more valuable to you. So इस पॉइंट पे जो चीज आपको आपके मतलब which you value less, you tend to sacrifice less for it. So here you're sacrificing only 1 unit of commodity 2 for 1 additional unit of commodity 1. So that is why MRS diminishes as we move down the curve. So this basically completes the 4 properties of the indifference curves. Indifference curve, if you recap, higher indifference curve are more preferred. Indifference curve हमेशा downward sloping होंगे. Indifference curve कभी भी आपस में cross नहीं करेंगे. और indifference curve will always be bowed inwards. They'll be always convex in shape. मैं जान के इन्हें convex बनाया है क्योंकि अगर convex होंगे तो आप देख सकते हैं MRS diminishes as we move down the curve, or in other words, slope diminishes as I move down the curve. और उसकी logic अभी मैंने आपको explain की है कि just as a quick recap, at this point pizza ज़्यादा valuable है, therefore you're willing to sacrifice more for it, hence MRS ज़्यादा होगी इस point पे, whereas as I move down the curve, pizza becomes less valuable to me, therefore I'm willing to sacrifice less for it. Okay, so now till this stage I have independently developed the consumer's budget line and I've independently developed the consumer preference. In the next part, I'm going to combine the two together, which is going to complete the story as to how consumers' budget and preferencing will end up allowing the consumer to identify their best consumption bundles. Okay, so I'll just stop at this point then. Consumer theory, and in this particular part, I'm going to combine whatever we have learned so far with respect to this particular chapter. I am combining the consumer budget constraint and the consumer preferences, which will help us to identify the optimal consumption bundle for our consumer. You can clearly see from the diagram in front of you that the red line, it's the consumer's budget line. And here you can see a set of indifference curves. The indifference curves are represented by these blue curves. You can see 3 set of indifference curves in this particular diagram. Just as a quick revision, the budget line is going to contain all the consumption bundles which completely exhaust the income, and this red line is also it gives me a boundary कि जितनी consumption bundles इस red line के नीचे हैं या उसके ऊपर हैं, only those consumption bundles are affordable to our consumer. The indifference curves, on the other hand, they tell me about the consumer preferences. जितनी भी consumption bundles एक indifference curve पे lie करेंगी, they'll be equally preferred by the consumer. अच्छा, अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि what is going to be the optimum consumption bundle, ठीक है? Or in other words, what is the best consumption bundle for the consumer? So in this particular diagram, the optimum has been identified to be this. Okay, this consumption bundle, and once you've identified this optimum, you can read from the x and from the y axis the amount of commodity 1 and commodity 2 that it is going to contain. Okay, now first let's also look कि और consumption bundles को मैं optimum क्यों नहीं कह सकती, A को मैं optimum क्यों नहीं कह सकती, A में क्या मसला है? So the answer should be कि A मुझे बेशक मेरे optimum से ज़्यादा पसंद है, ठीक है? A lies in a higher indifference curve. I like it more than my optimum consumption bundle, which is this. But since A is not affordable, A cannot be my optimum consumption bundle. हमने शुरू में यही बात की थी ना कि optimum consumption bundle की 2 निशानियां हैं. एक, it should be affordable. The second, out of the affordable bundles, it should be the most preferred bundle. So A बेशक मुझे optimum से ज़्यादा पसंद है, but A is not affordable, so it is out of the race. अब B पे आ जाते हैं. B के साथ क्या मसला है? आप देख सकते हैं कि B affordable है, ठीक है? B lies below the budget line, तो ये affordable है. लेकिन B, when you're going to consume B, it's going to result in some unused income. आपकी पूरी income exhaust नहीं होगी. हम यहाँ बेसिक assumption ये करते हैं कि money itself doesn't give you happiness. अगर आप अपने पैसे जो हैं तकिए के नीचे छुपा छुपा के रख रहे हैं, that is not going to give you happiness. It's the amount of goods and services that you can buy with that money which is going to give you satisfaction or happiness. तो the point is कि consumption bundle B अगर आप consume करें ना, it's going to result in some unused income. So बेहतर ये है कि आप उस income को इस्तेमाल करें and move on to a consumption bundle which gives you more satisfaction. ठीक है? So B से बेहतर हमारी ये optimum consumption bundle B से बेहतर है because it lies on a higher indifference gap. Okay, so B optimum आप देख सकते हैं इस लिहाज से नहीं हो सकता because it lies affordable ज़रूर है but it lies on a lower indifference curve. मैं अपनी income को पूरी तरह exhaust करके I can actually move on to a consumption bundle which lies on a higher indifference curve और जो कि affordable भी हो. Since आप देख सकते हैं मेरा optimum consumption bundle budget line के ऊपर lie कर रहा है तो वो जाहिर सी बात है affordable है. Okay. अब थोड़े से मज़ीद options को भी discover कर लेते हैं. Let's look at this option, this consumption bundle C. So this is consumption bundle C है. अच्छा, consumption bundle C it lies on the budget line. तो यानी consumption bundle C भी उसी कीमत में मिल जाएगा as compared to my optimum consumption bundle which is this. So if my total income is 1000, optimum consumption bundle भी 1000 rupees का है और C भी मुझे ये जो C consumption bundle है ये भी मुझे 1000 rupees में मिल जाएगी. But why do I not choose C? The reason is कि C it lies on a lower indifference gap. मैं उसी पैसे में I can actually move on to a consumption bundle which gives me more happiness, which is more preferred. So this particular consumer, he likes a more balanced combination of the two commodities rather than the commodities combination in consumption bundle C. C में आप देख सकते हैं it contains more of pizza and less of Pepsi. So हमारा consumer ज़रा balanced है यहाँ because he enjoys or he prefers more balance or equal amount of both the commodities rather than extremes. ठीक है, consumer है उसकी पसंद है. So according to this particular diagram, consumer को दोनों commodities का combination ज़्यादा पसंद है as compared to a consumption bundle which contains only that contains one commodity in high amount and the other in very low amount. बिल्कुल उसी तरह मैं आर्ग्यू कर सकती हूँ कि कंजम्पशन बंडल डी जो है अगेन दिस कंजम्पशन बंडल कॉल दिस डी इट लाइज ऑन द बजट लाइन. तो जाहिर सी बात है कंजम्पशन बंडल डी मेरा ऑप्टिमम कंजम्पशन बंडल और सी एक ही कीमत में दस्तयाब है लेकिन डी इट लाइज ऑन ए लोअर इंडिफरेंस गैप. ठीक है, डी लाइज ऑन I1. सो देखिए उसी पैसे में मुझे एक और कंजम्पशन बंडल मिल सकती है which actually gives me more satisfaction. So I'm going to gradually move down. ठीक है, I'm going to reshuffle my income or reshuffle my budget and move to this optimum consumption bundle which contains which contains a balanced amount of two commodities. मैं यहाँ एक पॉइंट आपको एम्फसाइज कर दूं कि जरूरी नहीं है कि ऑप्टिमम कंटेन्स बैलेंस्ड अमाउंट ऑफ बोथ द कमोडिटीज. ये इत्तेफाक है इस पर्टिकुलर केस में. ये वाला जो पर्टिकुलर कंज्यूमर है गिवन हिज इंडिफरेंस कर्व्स व्हिच लुक समथिंग लाइक दिस, ही प्रेफर्स बैलेंस्ड रादर देन एक्सट्रीम्स. ओके, सो looking at all the alternative options that I have given you, मैं थोड़ा सा सम अप कर देती हूँ जो मैंने अभी कहा है. ए पसंद मुझे सबसे ज्यादा है आउट ऑफ द लॉट लेकिन वो अफोर्डेबल नहीं है, सो इट्स आउट ऑफ द रेस. बी अफोर्डेबल है लेकिन इट लाइज इन अ लोअर इंडिफरेंस कर्व, सो अगेन इट कैन नॉट बी ऑप्टिमम. डी इट इज अफोर्डेबल, मेरी पूरी इनकम यहाँ एग्जॉस्ट हो रही है लेकिन उसी पैसे में मुझे एक बेहतर कंजम्पशन बंडल मिल सकती है which lies in a higher indifference curve. So why not I move to that higher indifference curve, which is why not so I would rather go for the optimum consumption bundle rather than D. C के साथ भी वही मसला है, it completely exhausts my income, लेकिन उसी income में मुझे एक और bundle मिल सकती है जो कि it lies on a higher indifference curve. So I would definitely prefer that over C. ओके सो ये तो मैंने आपको बता दिया कि ऑप्टिमम कंजम्पशन आइडेंटिफाई करने का तरीका। इसमें मैं एक और आपको एलाबोरेशन यहाँ करूँगी जो कि ये है और जो कि आपके यहाँ हैंडआउट्स में भी क्लियरली लिखा हुआ है कि एट द ऑप्टिमम कंजम्पशन बंडल the slope of the indifference curve should equal to the slope of the budget line. Okay, this is a very important identity that you need to understand. At the optimum, the slope of the budget line, which you remember is minus P1 divided by P2, is equal to is the slope of the indifference curve, which we refer to as MRS or the marginal rate of substitution. अच्छा, थोड़ा सा मैं पहले quick review दे दूँ about MRS. MRS is the slope of the indifference curve. अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ कि calculate the MRS from this consumption bundle to this consumption bundle here. तो आप MRS किस तरह calculate करेंगे? Any ideas? Okay, so what I'm saying is that MRS, that's the slope of the budget line. If I want you to calculate the slope of the indifference curve from this point here to this red point below, किस तरह करेंगे? Slope का तरीका calculate करने का तरीका तो आपको पता ही है. It's change in y, which is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. ये standard formula है slope calculate करने का. It is the change in y divided by change in x. आप इस डायग्राम से बड़े आराम से रीड कर सकते हैं कि y2 क्या होगा, ठीक है? y2 is the amount of commodity 2, right? So y2 आप यहाँ से रीड कर दें वैल्यू, y1 की वैल्यू आप यहाँ से रीड कर लें, x2 की वैल्यू आप यहाँ नीचे x एक्सिस से रीड कर लेगा और x1 की वैल्यू आप नीचे x एक्सिस से रीड कर लीजिएगा. Here I am assuming that I am moving down the indifference curve. ठीक है? So this is my original point and this is my new point. So आपका y2 और y1 मतलब y2 और x2 will refer to this point and y1 and x1 is going to refer to this original consumption bundle. Okay, देखो ये तो तरीका है how you can calculate the MRS between 2 points. But what if I narrow down the difference between these two consumption bundles? खैर अभी भी आप MRS इसी फॉर्मूले से निकाल देते हैं, लेकिन let's suppose ये difference इतना कम हो जाए कि it becomes minuscule. ठीक है? So how would you calculate the MRS at a point? How would you calculate slope at a point? मैथ्स में आपने पढ़ा होगा कि अगर आपने एक किसी पॉइंट पे MRS कैलकुलेट करना है तो उसका तरीका कुछ यूं है. ठीक है, ये मैं एक्स्ट्रा चीजें रब कर रही हूँ. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने A पे at point A I want to calculate MRS. Okay, so what I'll do is I am going to draw a line which is tangent to point A. ये मैथ्स में आपने ये पढ़ा होगा द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ टेंजेंट. टेंजेंट क्या होता है कि ऐसी लाइन है, इट्स मतलब अगर आप ये टेंजेंट से होता है यहाँ 90 डिग्री का एंगल बनना चाहिए. ओके, सो इफ आई ड्रॉ अ लाइन व्हिच इज परपेंडिकुलर एट पॉइंट ए, सो ये 90 डिग्री का एंगल बनना चाहिए. सो दिस इज कॉल्ड अ टेंजेंट. ओके, सो लेट मी जस्ट ओके, तो मैंने एक्स्ट्रा चीजें यहाँ से हटा दी हैं. तो देखिए अगर मैंने ये मैथ्स का मतलब एक असूल है कि अगर एक कर्व स्ट्रक्चर है और आपने किसी एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पे स्लोप मालूम करना है, तो व्हाट यू डू इज यू ड्रॉ अ टेंजेंट एट दैट पॉइंट. ठीक है, टेंजेंट इज बेसिकली पॉइंट जो कि 45 डिग्री पे हो. अगर पॉइंट ए पे मैं एक परपेंडिकुलर लाइन ड्रॉ करूँ ना, तो मतलब it should make a 90 degree का angle. Or in simple words, आपने एक ऐसी टेंजेंसी मतलब you have to draw a line which is tangent to A, यानी you have to draw a line which only touches point A and no other point. तो देखो ये जो टेंजेंट है स्ट्रेट लाइन है ना, तो इस पे अगर मुझे पता है कि if I have a straight line, I can just take any 2 points on the straight line. ठीक है, I can take this point and I can take this point and calculate MRS using the formula here. ठीक है, which is the change in y over change in x. So straight line के यही तो फायदे हैं, अगर मुझे कोई भी 2 points पता हो, I can calculate the slope, क्योंकि slope तो उसका constant रहता है ना. So that is how you calculate MRS or slope of curve at a particular point. तो मैं कह रही हूँ कि at the optimum consumption bundle, the slope of the budget line, which is minus P1 over P2, should equal the slope of the indifference curve. ठीक है, मैं चाह रही हूँ कि इस पॉइंट पे मैं इंडिफरेंस कर्व का स्लोप मालूम करूँ. मैं किस तरह करूँगी? आई एम गोइंग टू ड्रॉ अ लाइन व्हिच इज टेंजेंट टू दिस पॉइंट है. ठीक है, सो आई एम गोइंग टू ड्रॉ अ लाइन व्हिच इज टेंजेंट टू दिस पॉइंट. और आप देख सकते हैं कि द स्लोप मतलब दिस टेंजेंट जो मैंने लाइन बनाई है ना, इट कोइंसाइड्स विद द बजट लाइन. सो इन अदर वर्ड्स, एट दिस पॉइंट द स्लोप ऑफ द indifference curve, which is the MRS, is equal to is the slope of the budget line. तो ऑप्टिमम कंजम्पशन बंडल आइडेंटिफाई करने का ये एक और बहुत अच्छा तरीका है कि एट द ऑप्टिमम the slope of the two curves should be the same. In other words, the slope of the budget line, which shows the actual trade-off between the two commodities, it should be equal to is how much you're willing to trade off one commodity for the other. So यहाँ at this point, in simple words, at this point, what you're willing to trade off is equal to is what you actually have to trade off. अब मैं वही पॉइंट दोबारा मतलब इसी पॉइंट को थोड़ा सा मैं मजीद एलाबोरेट कर रही हूँ. हमने पढ़ा था कि ये वाली जो कंजम्पशन बंडल है, आई कॉल दिस कंजम्पशन बंडल सी. मैं कह रही हूँ कि ये ऑप्टिमम नहीं है. ठीक है, या आप इस तरह भी अंदाजा लगा सकते हैं कि at C, if I ask you to draw or I ask you to find the MRS at point C, what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line which is tangent to point C. यानी ऐसी लाइन जो कि खाली C को टच करे और किसी पॉइंट को टच ना करे. तो आप इस रेड लाइन का स्लोप निकाल लें. That is going to be the MRS at point C. So you can clearly see कि the MRS is different from the slope of the budget line. ठीक है, budget line steeper है. ये जो डार्क रेड में आपको मरूनिश सी लाइन नजर आ रही है ना, that's the slope of the budget line. तो देखें स्लोप्स दोनों के बराबर नहीं है. MRS is flatter. In this particular case, MRS is less than the slope of the budget line. So this cannot be the point of tangency. So in other words, let me just write this down as well. At this point, MRS in absolute terms is less than minus P1 divided by P2, which was the slope of the budget line. ठीक है, तो since tangency condition यहाँ satisfy नहीं हो रही, तो C cannot be the optimum consumption bundle. You can similarly work out. Okay, you can similarly work out why consumption bundle, let's call it D, why consumption bundle D is not the optimum consumption bundle. यहाँ फिर I would require you to calculate the MRS at point D. मैंने आपको पहले ही बताया था कि अगर आपका कर्व्ड एक स्ट्रक्चर है और आपने अगर एक पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट पे इसका स्लोप निकालना है, व्हाट यू गोइंग टू डू इज यू गोइंग टू ड्रॉ अ लाइन व्हिच इज टेंजेंट टू D. ठीक है, एक ऐसी लाइन जो खाली D को टच करे और किसी को टच ना करे, या अगर आप परपेंडिकुलर लाइन ड्रॉ करें तो 90 डिग्री का एंगल बनेगा. सो आप देख सकते हैं ये जो रेड लाइन मैंने अभी बनाई है ना, इसका आप स्लोप मालूम कर लें. दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द MRS एट पॉइंट D. तो नजर आ रहा है, इट्स क्वाइट विजिबल दैट द स्लोप ऑफ द indifference curve is not the same as the slope of the budget line. Budget line flatter है. ये जो maroon line है ना, ये flatter है as compared to this red line which I've drawn, which is steeper. So in other words, यानी at this point, अगर आपसे कहूँ तो आप देख सकते हैं कि MRS जो है it is greater, it's steeper than the slope of the बजट लाइन. ठीक है, एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स में ले लेते हैं, वो आपके लिए माइनस साइन को कीप ट्रैक करना इट्स अ लिटिल हार्डर. तो इधर भी जो है नेगेटिव साइन को मैं जो है खत्म कर लेती हूँ. आप बस स्लोप्स कंपेयर करें, आप देख सकते हैं स्लोप्स बराबर नहीं है. So D cannot be the optimum consumption bundle. Optimum यही होगा. At the optimum, MRS should equal the slope of the budget line. Okay, so if I can write it down as well, अगर हम इस point की बात करें तो आप देख सकते हैं इस point पे MRS is equal to is the slope of the budget line. Or in other words, what you are willing to trade off is equal to is what you actually have to trade off. Okay, so this is how you identify the optimum consumption bundle. ये काफी मैंने थोड़ा सा messy कर दिया है, but I hope you understand how you identify the optimum consumption bundles. Now, model हमारा तैयार है. Now you're just going to play around with this model. I'm going to give you different scenarios, and in those different scenarios, you will have to work out the optimum consumption bundle. अच्छा, ये before I do that, आप यहाँ से पढ़ भी लें कि कोई confusion ना रह जाए. So if you want to find the optimum consumption bundle, you have to combine the indifference curve and the budget line, which determines the optimum. And consumer optimum occurs at a point where the highest indifference curve and the budget line are tangent. In other words, where the consumer chooses consumption of two goods so that marginal rate of substitution is equal to the relative price. Okay? MRS is the slope of the indifference curve, and the relative prices is basically the slope of the budget line. तो ये एक आइडेंटिफिकेशन का तरीका है. मतलब जो मैंने दो बेसिकली तरीके आपको बताए टू आइडेंटिफाई द ऑप्टिमम कंजम्पशन बंडल. एक जो टेक्निक है वो ये है कि at the optimum consumption bundle, you're going to be on the highest possible indifference curve. Yani out of the affordable bundle, you should be picking the best consumption bundle. And the second identification criteria is that it's a point of tangency at the optimum consumption bundle. Slope of the indifference curve should equal to is the slope of the budget line. Okay. अच्छा, एक और चीज मैं जरा क्लैरिफाई कर दूं कि at the optimum consumption bundle आप हमेशा नोट करेंगे कि total income of the consumer gets exhausted. ठीक है, so at optimum, total income gets exhausted. The slope of the two, the budget line and the indifference curve should be the same. And this particular point should give you, the optimum point should give you the highest possible level of happiness. Yeah? Out of the affordable bundle, ये bundle best है. चलिए जी. So basic model तैयार है. अब सवाल ये पैदा होता है कि अगर income तब्दील हो तो how would that change the optimum consumption bundle? It's fairly easy to see with the help of the diagram below. So let's suppose original budget line आपकी blue से represent हुई हुई है. ठीक है, this is your original budget line. This is the original optimum consumption bundle. It's the point of tangency. Now let's suppose that income increases. ठीक है, इनकम इंक्रीजेस. मैंने आपको बताया था इनकम के इंक्रीज होने से दिस इज गोइंग टू रिजल्ट इन अ पैरेलल शिफ्ट इन द बजट लाइन. तो अब दिस इज द न्यू बजट लाइन. तो जाहिर है अब ये जो इनिशियल ऑप्टिमम था ये अब ऑप्टिमम नहीं रहेगा. द न्यू ऑप्टिमम इज गोइंग टू अकर where this indifference curve, the new and the higher indifference curve, is tangent to the budget line. So you can see that at the new optimum consumption bundle, it contains more of both the commodities. ठीक है, ये ओरिजिनल ऑप्टिमम को कंपेयर करें, ये जो ओरिजिनल है, और ये नए ऑप्टिमम को कंपेयर करें. यानी as income increases, the consumption of both commodity 1 and 2 is increasing. That means that commodity 1 is a normal good and commodity 2 is also a normal good. Remember, normal good की डेफिनेशन यही तो थी कि अगर इनकम इंक्रीज हो तो नॉर्मल गुड्स की डिमांड इंक्रीज होगी. अगर ये पॉइंट ऑफ टेंजेंसी कहीं यहाँ होता है, नहीं, मैं ऐसे आपको अज्यूम कर रही हूँ, लेट्स सपोज पॉइंट ऑफ टेंजेंसी कहीं यहाँ होता, तो उस केस में हम अज्यूम कर सकते हैं कि the consumption of commodity 1 has actually declined and the consumption of commodity 2 has increased. So we can infer from here that commodity 1 is an inferior good, commodity 2 is a normal good. Similarly, अगर point of tangency कहीं यहाँ होता, So that would imply that commodity 1 is a normal good and commodity 2 is an inferior good because income के बढ़ने से commodity 2 की मिकदार कम हो गई है. अच्छा, now since दो commodities हैं, ये possibility कभी नहीं हो सकती कि income के बढ़ने से दोनों ही inferior होंगी, क्योंकि हमने याद रखें कि at the optimum consumption bundle you also have to exhaust your total income. So अगर दो ही चीजें हैं और income बढ़ रही है तो ऐसा कभी भी नहीं हो सकता कि दोनों inferior goods हों, दोनों की demand कम हो जाए, क्योंकि at the end of the day we also have to exhaust our income. तो when you have two commodities, ये तीन सिनारियोज खाली पॉसिबल हैं. एक सिनारियो है जो कि आपको नजर आ रहा है यहाँ कि इनकम के बढ़ने से दोनों की डिमांड बढ़ रही है, दैट मीन्स दोनों नॉर्मल है. दूसरा सिनारियो ये हो सकता है जहाँ commodity 1 is an inferior good and commodity 2 is a normal good. और थर्ड सिनारियो ये है where commodity 1 is a normal good and commodity 2 is an inferior good. अच्छा, now let's suppose what happens when price of a commodity changes. You can see that very clearly from this diagram here. Original हमारी, let's suppose budget line is represented by this blue line and the original optimum is this. ठीक है, this is the initial optimum. अब यहाँ हो क्या रहा है, अब डायग्राम को देखने से ही आपको पता चल जाना चाहिए कि the budget line is pivoting outwards. That is, the price of one of the commodities is changing. Price of commodity 1 here is not changing. As a matter of fact, price of commodity 2 must be decreasing. ठीक है? A fall in the price of Pepsi rotates the budget line outwards. If you remember, budget line का जो vertical intercept है ना, that's M divided by P2. Just don't mind my free hand. It's just my hand is shaking. That's why थोड़ा सा वो हो रहा है, जरा shaky सा ये बन रहा है. But anyway, so what you can see is this is the slope of this is the vertical intercept. So remember, M is the same. The price of commodity 2 is decreasing. Denominator term छोटा हो रहा है, तो पूरी ये जो term है ना, it should increase. And the maximum amount of commodity 1 that you can consume, if you remember, that was M divided by P1 here. Okay, so P1. So income is the same, P1 is the same, so that is why the horizontal intercept doesn't change. खाली जो है हमारा स्लोप तब्दील होगा और इंटरसेप्ट तब्दील होगा, वर्टिकल इंटरसेप्ट इंक्रीज हो रहा है इस पर्टिकुलर केस में. तो देखिए, न्यू ऑप्टिमम नाउ अकर्स एट दिस पॉइंट. क्योंकि देखो, दिस इज नाउ द ओरिजिनल पॉइंट इज नो लॉन्गर द पॉइंट ऑफ टेंजेंसी बिकॉज द न्यू बजट लाइन इज दिस मरून लाइन. So new optimum occurs at this point, and you can read from the diagram that at the new optimum, the commodity जो पेप्सी है जो कि सस्ती हुई है उसकी डिमांड बढ़ गई है और commodity 2 की डिमांड है ना यहाँ कम हो गई है. ठीक है, मैं खाली डायग्राम से ये वैल्यूज रीड कर रही हूँ, तो आप देख सकते हैं ये जो न्यू ऑप्टिमम है ना थोड़ा सा लेफ्ट वर्ड्स है टू ऑफ माय ओल्ड optimum. So you can see that as a result commodity 2 की डिमांड बढ़ रही है, लेकिन commodity 1 जो है उसकी डिमांड पहले के मुकाबले में कम हो रही है. Okay, so I'll just stop this lecture at this point.